Welcome all to another episode of Quiet in the Library. I'm your host, Reggie, and I'm excited to get into this next lore book. I was going back and forth and trying to figure out what topic I really wanted to explore, and ended up coming back to Destiny because there's a character I really want to explore. His name's Emperor Calus. He's great. Long live the Leviathan. It is gone, but still in our hearts and our memories for the raid in Destiny 2. But he is such an interesting character when it comes to the lore of what's going on inside of Destiny, and I hope that we see him again soon. But the next book that we're going to get into is called the Chronicon, and it's basically a bunch of stories of Calus's scribes that they have inscribed down about him, and they're just going to be talking about him and all of the things that he's done, all of the great things that he's done, and really touting him up. So I'm really excited to get into this, talk about it, read a whole bunch of information about it, and it's going to be a lot of fun, so I'm excited. So thank you, and let's go. The following pages are a true and authentic publication of the incredible deeds and remarkable discoveries of the Emperor Calus, greatest emperor of the Cabal, witnessed by his most loyal allies, and recorded by his most trusted scribes. Upon suffering a terrible betrayal at the hands of false allies, Emperor Calus commissioned the Chronicon, a record of histories to preserve the truth of his magnanimous rule and unjust exile. His royal historians, Scribe Tizlat and Scribe Shagak, are solemnly entrusted with the writing and keeping of these vital records. The records begin thus. On the day that his joyful majesty was ejected from his home on Tor Batul, a great mania of aggrieved despair seized the Cabal people. Millions of the Empire's most loyal and joyous subjects took to the streets to lash their hides in bloody mourning. The planet heaved and shook with bereavement so mighty that the usurpers conceded they could not kill an emperor so beloved. In this way, the emperor was placed upon a great prison ship called the Leviathan and set on an unchangeable course away from his homeworld. Said the emperor to his attendants on the eve of his exile, "I am the last and greatest emperor of the Cabal. My empire, built on joy and abundance, has been usurped by traitors who worship only war and brutality. They will destroy what I have built, and my cherished people will know only suffering under their fear-fisted rule. I vow one day to return to this place, to bring ease and abundance to our people. Until then, I proclaim a new era of history and future. This era will not be defined by the censors and book burnings of my enemies, but instead by the golden knowledge of life's most toothsome sweetmeats, happiness, and power. I will lavish this knowledge unto all who prove themselves worthy of my true counsel, and united in love, we will grow fat with jubilation. Let my Chronicon be a shining beacon of truth in an age muddied by lies." After many days of uninterrupted flight, the Leviathan experienced a violent malfunction. This scribe prefers not to lean on metaphoric language when the accuracy of history is at stake, but in these unusual circumstances, the record may forgive a departure into the subjective. It was as if the ship had been plucked from the cosmos like a berry by some gargantuan hand, rolled between forefinger and thumb, squeezed and tested for ripeness, and then, having been found satisfactory, slung backward in an unknowable direction toward an unknowable maw. As a result, the ship's navigation and power systems were so severely disrupted that the royal pilots could make no hypothesis regarding their failure or repair. The ship was plunged into disarray and darkness. Its people gathered around the Emperor to seek his guidance and love. Instead, the Emperor donned a pressure gel suit and demanded to exit the ship alone. Said Calus, "I wish to see the destination of my banishment in private." He could not be persuaded otherwise. I, 'Tislat, must break the convention of our record-keeping for fear that this entry may be the last of the Chronicon, lens of truth, compendium of happiness, symbol of the lavish benevolence of His Majesty, the Emperor. 2 hours have passed since the Emperor exited the ship. We are buffeted by intermittent tremors, which are strong enough to dash even the steadiest guards against the walls. Shagak and several dozen others have been knocked unconscious. Zozan, the Emperor's dearest confidant, since his exile, complains of a mounting pressure in his skull. 12 others are bleeding from their ears. The royal beasts bay with incessant fury. I am no longer able to transcribe by hand. I shall write with my mind until I am incapacitated. We are afraid. We fear that our enemies have sent us to this place to die in the dark, far from the eyes of Calus's adoring public. The Emperor has not returned and is surely dead. Thanks everyone for tuning in, for talking about these first 2 pieces of this Chronicon, and I'm excited to see where the rest of the story goes with Calus and his crew, and I will see you next time. Please be sure to follow us on all of our handles, either on Twitter, on YouTube, on Spotify, anywhere that you listen to podcasts, and your digital media. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day.